So epic sounding. All right. Welcome. Hello. And hi everybody. Welcome to the Instant Ink comic book podcast. So today we have a returning guest, someone that we've had on the show before, back when we were doing pre-recorded stuff before the live days. And yeah, it's great to have John back from Part Time Comics. So John, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me again. I know you obviously ran out of guests, so you scraped the bottom of the well. Let's bring them back. I guess we have to.
That's right. We're just gonna run them all back now. No, we're very happy to have you back. It's always great when we know someone who knows the game, right? Like knows what we're up to. So we can definitely jump into it. And yeah, so before I do that, while I'm getting the tools set up, because of course now I got some kind of Windows update going on, I'll let you let us know who you are, what you're up to. I'm gonna give you the whole screen while I get all that set up.
Well, like I said, thanks again for having me back. I am John Westoff. I am the writer, publisher, letterer, sometimes many other things of Part Time Comics. Is the company that I own and run now, and it's basically just a vanity title to put my own books out. And because I didn't think people would read John Westoff Comics, so I had to give it a name. But no, I've got about 15 years publishing experience at 2 different publishing houses now, and this is about 2020, a great time to decide you want to relaunch and take one last final go at it of running a comics publisher. I picked the best time in the world to do that. So yeah, I'm the publisher, writer, and letterer for Part Time Comics.
Right on. Yeah, that's you got the pitch nailed down. I think time and experience will do that to you, right? But yeah, it's one of those things. There's never a good time, and there's but the best time to do it is today, right? So
The best time to do it was yesterday. The second best time is today.
Yeah, that's the right one. That's exactly it, right? Like you could always wait for the perfect time, and it'll never come. So just doing it sometimes the way to go. All right. So with that said, Roberto, quick pitch. What are you up to? What do you do?
Okay, I'm doing the fourth chapter of Voyager, and you can look it up on Kickstarter. Voyager part 4 of 6. And I'm working on a perspective book, talking about how to draw perspective. I think I have a spin about how to understand perspective, so it doesn't matter if you know how to draw well, but you will understand it enough to make something look like it's drawn in perspective. So I'm working on that too, and you can find everything on my webpage called robertogacabillustration.com, and you can join my newsletter there too. And now back to Adriana.
Oh, I'm on mute. There we go. The cat is just a nightmare. You'll see his ears pop up. Oh, here he goes. No, never mind. Anyways, the cat is a nightmare. But my name's Adriano. Hi, I'm from Pesto Comics. So there he goes. Now he's kind of being less shy. Anyways, I'm Adriano, Pesto Comics. You can find our book in stores April 29th. We had a really big order, so chances are your store has it. But definitely check it out. From Parts Unknown, #1, hitting stores April 29th. That's right before Free Comic Book Day. So if you are in the store, make sure to look for that on the shelves. And then when you read it and you really enjoy it, make sure that you pre-order the second issue. We've done it in such a way that the FOC is right after the release, which is something that usually doesn't happen with retailers. So it's very important that you that you get the book, that you pre-order the book. Let the retailer know that you do want issue 2. Very, very important that you get that done. And then of course, always on Kickstarter, the next big campaign we're doing is Naked Kaiju Woman #3. That's the thing that has put us on the map on the Kickstarter side of things. So we're just shy of 300 pre-launch followers. So if you'd like to do that, bit.ly/NKW3. That's how you can get on the pre-launch list and make sure that you know when we launch. Right now, looks like we're aiming for May. We were hoping for April, but waiting for those last couple of pages. Raphael's just refining and getting us where we need to be. So we'll have Naked Kaiju Woman #3 this May. All right, with that, let's get into the actual making of the comic book page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, assuming that Oliver does not do something to destroy the whole thing. Oliver's the cat, if anyone was wondering what I'm talking about. All right, so we have. Can I move this guy over? I think so. Let me just do this in a way. Yeah, there you go. That's a little more legible. So these are the ones I've been looking at. So I'm actually just going to go and generate some new prompts. And here's what we got. Couple repeats here. So what do we got? Car keys. Where is the car going to take the character? Not normal. What is normal and why are you not? The dictionary. Open up a dictionary to a random page and point to a word. Write a paragraph with that word. With the main theme of this is more for writers, but you get the idea. Coffee or tea, a dialogue about the merits of coffee versus tea, and spice rack. How does a character add spice to a situation? So, any of these standing out to you here?
I mean, spice rack jumped out right away.
Right on.
That just seemed like the most unique one of the bunch.
I like it. All right, let's
I
go with that.
I don't necessarily want to do 6 panels of someone reading the dictionary, but we could, if that's what Roberto wants to draw, it'll be easy for him.
If he's up for the challenge, we could always ruin his day. Okay, cool. So let me hide that. Let's get back to this, and then Roberto, when you can, please share your screen. And while he's doing that, so you mentioned that really popped for you. So what about it stood out? What do you have in mind based on that prompt?
Well, one of the things I've been doing in old age, besides making comics, is I've been getting more into cooking. So spice rack kind of just jumped out as something I was just thinking about. I need to clean my spice cabinet. Actually, no, I don't have a rack, but I would like a rack. It'd be easier to access. Because it's very messy and I can never find what I need, and I end up buying it again, or digging around for 20 minutes just trying to find something.
Nice. I like that. Okay. So now that so the conflict's inherent in that. What's the like visual? Like I have one in mind, but I'm curious if you have one.
Well, and then there's actually probably a couple, but at this point there's also a Simpsons reference about spice rack. So that's what came to mind too. So then I kind of thought about arguing about what spices should go into something. That leads you to, right? Usually chili, right? We're going to argue about what should and shouldn't go in it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I thought, that's where my mind starts. Like two people are about to put something in the chili, and then it goes from there.
I like that. Okay, cool. That's a good setting too, right? And then now that you've said The Simpsons, I like picture that outdoor.
The crappy spice rack.
Yeah. I could. That's the image I got in my head, but we probably don't want to just completely rip it off. If it was up to me, that's what we're doing now. So okay. So what do the panels look like? What's the layout of a story like this? It's gonna end with like a brawl, I assume, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is it two of them like looking from across the hall, like not the hall, the alley, whatever you would call it, between the tents, right? And being like, what is he doing? What? No. Right? And like running over. Is it a cooking situation? What's the build up that we get to that fisticuffs in the end?
I think we have something boiling on the stove with the spice rack, and you can reference the crummy Simpsons version there if you want, falling apart above it with two, couple spices on it, and then they both reach for one to finish it off, and then
I like that.
Then we'll get where they argue about what they reached for,
Yeah. I like it. It's very, very straightforward and simple. So, Roberto, did you get all that? Or we?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the visual for that, but let me start, and you can.
What do spice
comment
racks?
on that.
What do spice racks look like to you?
Yeah. I like it. Okay. So while Roberto slowly gets that out, let's get to the business. You have a Kickstarter that is live and pending. How's it doing right now? I haven't checked right before I got on, but I saw it had some momentum. So how's it all looking?
Well, first and foremost, it's approaching our highest dollar amount we've ever raised. So you got to be happy about that.
Nice. Yes.
But this one's a little bit different. We went at it a little bit differently. We kind of needed a much higher goal than we have ever even tried to reach. I've never launched a campaign where I've tried to get 5 figures, but this is 3 issues at once. We're trying to kind of offer a subscription plan, something a little different. We're always kind of bouncing around those ideas at Part-Time Comics. How can we get our books to our customers and not have to burden ourselves with the multiple shipping, but also burden them with the cost and the weight and the, damage in the mail and everything? How can we get it to them? We know we have hundreds of backers that come back, for each of these books. Why not offer it to them? But that comes with some risks too, right? You don't know if people are going to want to dive into 3 books at once. Maybe, financially they're having some struggles, or maybe a couple of people reached out and it wasn't very clear to them that I hadn't launched this before, because, in the Kickstarter world, usually 1 comes and then it's 1 through 2, 1 through 3. So they were a little bit taken aback. So I think it's still doing well. We have 8 days left. We're over 6,000. We need 11,000, a little over 11,000 to get there, which again is a big goal. But if we get anywhere near the backers we normally get for our flagship title, Drumsticks of Doom, we should be sitting okay. So I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, it's a very ambitious goal. Like I like you said, I don't usually see you in particular, myself as well, like usually hitting that that goal level so high. But hey, you're doing really, like, the trajectory you've hit, and it wasn't even like you had a good day one, but the fact that it's been like a consistent, like I've been watching, and it's been growing throughout, right? Like, and we're in a lot of the same circles, so I see you're really doing the promo and pushing, right?
We are fortunate. I know a lot of our peers will talk about the dead zones and we have it too, but we really rarely ever have a no backer day. It's just all about finding the backers where they're at, whether they follow us here, there, whether it's email or Kickstarter or social media. So it's always kind of like that for us. It used to be when we first were on Kickstarter 10 or 15 years ago, we would fund in, a day or two. Goals were smaller then, but still, just social media was different then. You could post and all your friends would post, and then you'd be funded in, a week tops. But nowadays it's just, everything is just throttled. So you have to, and actually this will be my first opportunity to publicly apologize. I've had a couple of people reach out to me and say, John, you're just like, you're hitting us all the time. Like, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know how else to get the word out. Like, you just have to keep hammering it. Cause again, we start off with 50, 60 backers, which is a great first 48 hours. And then by the end, we're at 175, 200. Drumsticks of Doom, the first one was at 267. We just have this weird thing that a lot of campaigns don't have, where we just kind of have a good first and second day, and then we just slowly tick up, which I'm grateful for. But I do wish I could figure out how to just get them there on the first day.
Yeah. And then just like, oh, cool, we did it. Done. Yeah.
which is what all of us want. But I'm still grateful that, again, I'm happy to, every time I check it, there's usually 1 or 2 a day, and it's great. But just got to figure out how to get more in there early to get that early, bump.
Yeah, it's tough. Like the pre-launch has been huge. That whole system, the pre-launch, and now that they've allowed you to actually write to followers,
yes,
you can use it to actually, right, like start building some momentum. So I found that to be super useful. But yeah, I find this similar experience where it's like you do get the bad days here and there where somebody will cancel or this or that, and then even though you're still getting backers, maybe you have a negative day. Right, like it happens, but generally speaking, like there's always more coming in. I tend to find so, but it's like you're really dependent on the barbell situation, right? Like it's the first 2 days and the last 2 days. Yep. That's where all the business happens, and then you just hope that the momentum gets you where you need to be for the end, right? But I think again, you're doing really well in terms of just like every time I look, there's more and there's more, and you're really building.
And I say even at this point, there's definitely still a lot I need to learn. I feel like I advertise the pre-launch, and I'll try to say, first day incentives or, get people excited. And I think we have this funny problem where I think if you deliver enough times, people just kind of get tired of clicking that button because they're like, it'll be there when I get there. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they're like, So I just don't know how to, without breaking the bank, get people excited for those first days again. Because I do feel like people genuinely get excited, and people get the book and they tell me, they enjoy it, or they come up to me at a show. I have all the issues. I know that there's people out there that are excited, but to get them to click that pre-launch, it's just been harder and harder as we go on.
Yeah, 100%. And it's usually on Kickstarter you can say like, like if there's all these newcomers in, like it's kind of good. It kind of like the rising tide, right? That it hasn't been a problem that more and more people are coming in. But now it does seem to be like, okay, I think we're starting to hit people's limit. Again, I don't know if it's like an economy thing or what,
Yeah.
but there's certainly a bit of hesitance, even just for people to follow a campaign,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So it's been tough, but I mean, when is it not, right? Like we started
Right.
off talking about, like it's just there's never a good time, so you just got to kind of power through it. But
Yeah.
like I said, yeah, it's going well for you so far.
No, thanks. Yeah, I mean, again, it's always a sweat in the middle, but I know that the backers will be there in the end. We do have kind of a core readership of this book that really is. I'm just so grateful for. They've carried us the whole 4 years we've been doing this book now, and this will be issues 8, 9, and 10 of the series. The finales, people don't know, this is really the last. We did a series of mini series. This is the last arc. The natural occurrence to me, you're making a heavy metal book, you're making a book about music. People don't know. It's what if Black Sabbath, not the Beatles, became the most popular band in the world, thus the universe was changed forever. Heavy metal rules the earth. When our main character Lana finds a magical pair of drumsticks, she's thrust into a war to keep heavy metal on the top of the charts. So Drumsticks of Doom is get the band together, record the album, go on tour. It was always what Dan and I were like planning. So I'm very grateful that we got through our natural 3 arcs that we wanted to. I think there's more stories in this universe. Hopefully people feel like we've set up a cool world with cool characters we could revisit, but I think it's a good time to, he and I said, we've been doing this for a couple of years. We balance other projects. Let's just make 2026 all about Drumsticks of Doom, finish it out, get that second trade out there, maybe even like a deluxe hardcover of the whole thing in the future, have a nice collection, and then see where the readership is after that.
Yeah, that's huge, right? And having that kind of roadmap of knowing like, okay, like this is the end of this arc, we can collect it, we can do something, but having a set, like it's not something that you always get in indie comics too, that you can really see the plan, right? One of the things I've been talking to a lot of people now that I'm talking to people in shops and stuff too, different group of people, right? And the number one complaint you always get about crowdfunding is, well, I backed one 5 years ago and I never got the comic, right?
Yeah.
And it's having people like yourself that actually have like proven time and time again, it's like you're going to get the book. Right? You're not only going to get the book, but we have like a full-on series that like there's a couple of trades that will be made out of this. It really does help the credibility of everybody on Kickstarter and crowdfunding, right? Because it's like, some people are taking this seriously and treating it like an actual business. So don't look at the one person who tried something and didn't follow through 5 years ago. That's not the norm. This is the norm, right? That people actually are doing good work out here
and
just using this as a means, right?
I'll go through and figure out exactly how many have not, delivered over the years. I do feel like it's a much smaller number, and I've been burned too. I know it's
it does happen. Like
money is not a free thing in this world, so I'm not disrespecting anyone who feels slighted, because there have been, and especially it seems to be a lot of bigger established names, which is very disappointing. But You're right. For those of us who deliver time and again, I do feel proud of that. I feel proud that I've never had a book not deliver. Now, maybe something happened in the mail or something like that. We can work that out, but I've never had a book not finish and mail out to all the backers.
Yeah, and that's the key thing, right? Is that like I'm not perfect either. Like I've certainly like I have some packages still, like the people who are late filling out their surveys. I'm on to the next thing, and I sometimes forget that I have to fulfill the previous or the previous right? So those people always seem to get a little bit burnt if you don't fill out the survey when I'm expecting you to. But you'll get your books, right? Like there's never a chance that I'm going to like completely forget. It may take a little bit longer, but it's the idea of you're delivering what you promised. Like there is a book, you're going to get the book.
Yes,
right?
It's also because I don't want them in my house anymore. They're taking up too much space. You see, I'm drowning.
100%. Yeah.
Someone take these books.
I know the feeling. Yeah.
Believe me, I'm not holding them from you backers. Please, I want to give you.
Please give me the problem of having to print more and starting all over.
Yes.
Yeah. I've had that too, where I'm like, I'm gonna hold back this time and not print as many, and then you do the second one, and then people over order. It's like, dang.
Yep.
I would have saved money if I had more faith
Yep.
in myself. So
Right. And I used to always have the book done before, and now I've definitely moved to printing afterwards. Now we like yourself have been very graciously accepted into the retail universe. So
Nice.
I'm very excited to be working with Massive. So we're trying, that's part of why this is 3 issues at once too. We're trying to time the print orders for also, getting into retail markets and stuff like that. So we got a lot to balance. So I do appreciate all the backers who, like you said, they know that you've delivered. They're willing to take the risk. I said up front, it's going to be a little bit longer than we usually take, but we'll get you the books before the retail stores. We take pride in that too. We don't want to just reward the people who buy in retail stores. We want to support our backers. But yeah, so it's a lot to balance at once, but it's been fun. I started, our first issue came out in January. Fourth issue will be in stores. Actually, I'm sorry, third issue next week, fourth issue in May. And then that's the first arc over. And then we'll have the second arc in fall and the third arc next year. And
nice.
And then all the collections will be out by this time next year. If we talk, hopefully we'll have 2 full volumes in retail stores. And it's been a crazy year.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love hearing that. Yeah, I'm still I'm still waiting for the book to hit stores, but it must be a great feeling. I'm looking forward to it.
No, it is. There was so much that happened and delays and everything. Of course, is Murphy's Law. All that can go wrong will go wrong. But once I finally saw it myself in the store, I was like, oh wow, this is cool.
Like it's a real thing now. Like even though when you're
I'm a real boy.
Kickstarter, yeah, right. You do the Kickstarter in that, and but you're fulfilling it yourself. So it still feels kind of like like it's real, but it's still like very indie, very like this is me doing it. I'm hand bombing it. But when it's in a store and it's someone else selling the book on your behalf, right? Totally different vibe. So it's kind of neat.
You got to do a live reaction when you see your book, because I'd be interested. For me, I went into the first time I saw it was in Chicago Comics, where we've done very well on consignment for years. People don't know consignment is when you give it to the shop and agree they'll give you a certain percentage of it sells. You don't get any money up front. You don't get it if it doesn't sell. But for some reason, to go there and see the same book that had been on consignment, but I saw it 2 shelves over on the quote unquote regular shelf, for me, it felt like I had my chest a little higher. Like I was like, I've graduated. I love being on the indie shelf and I'd love to be on the local creator shelves. Again, we've done amazing there, but it was just a cool feeling to be like, okay, after all this work, we've made it. We're out here on the regular shelf. And
it's like the next step has been made. Yeah.
We were right next to a Dr. Doom book, and it was like, just because how the alphabet worked.
Oh yeah,
and, my daughter saw it and was like, oh, you're right next to Marvel Comics. I'm like, yeah. I mean, we won't sell as many as that book, but but if you think it's
only
cool.
Yeah, if only then we're having a different conversation. But yeah, it's interesting, and I find so I've been trying the same thing you've been trying, which is interesting. I was going to ask, but you answered it. Was the doing multiple issues at once, and yeah, feeding the direct market is like a very interesting way that you still use the Kickstarter to to reach out to those fans and to give them a little, you give them something a little extra for being there at the onset and helping cover some costs and things. But then you need to have almost like that backlog of books, right? So that because the direct market will wait for no one. Like you need to have something out every month. So it's a weird thing to balance, that it's like the Kickstarter timeline is much longer. Right, you can wait 4 months and people will be like, yeah, it's how long it takes for the next issue.
Yeah,
the direct market will no, right? I was here Wednesday. I expect 4 Wednesdays later to read issue 2. So
right. Which is funny because you probably also grew up in the Image time when everything was late.
Yeah,
that's why we're like, hey, we lived through that already.
It is what it is. Yeah.
Be reasonable. I mean, everything gets delayed, but when it's like 3 years between issues,
Yeah, I think everybody's getting a taste of that with what is it, Hush 2? And it's like, we're 3 years behind on that. So it's like, how does this happen? It's like, this was the norm. This is
you ain't lived until you've waited 3 years for an issue. Let me tell you all about Image United.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, Roberto, we lost your screen.
Oh,
if you're
Yeah,
doing something cool, we have no idea.
I just finished the layout, so it's good
Oh,
time to
perfect.
check it out.
So let's review.
Yeah.
We'll let you get back to making it look pretty. All right. Here, I'll increase the screen just so we can get a good look at it.
Oh yeah, and the boiling pot at the top was a good, nice touch.
That's a nice touch, yeah.
You got to see where we're at first, right?
I think that covers it.
I like it. I mean, for it seems simple, but I think like we talked about last time, and I'm sure with many guests, 1-page comics are very hard.
Oh yeah,
probably the hardest. To tell a full story in a few panels is very difficult, and look at that. I like it.
Yeah, the fact that you whipped that out so quickly was quite impressive. So
I didn't want to plant the seed. My idea was to have the other person's head in the pot at the end, but maybe I'm a little more morbid, so we'll go with. We'll keep it PG-13.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to go about it. I like it though. I like it. Yeah, oh, good stuff. So you mentioned Drumsticks of Doom done. Did you announce what's next, or is this the focus? I know you said this is the focus for this year, so
it's definitely the focus of this year. We did also wrap up a mini series for child possession services last year. My hope now next year would be to get that in the collection. Again, I feel like we gave a satisfying beginning, middle, and end story, but there's a lot in that world we can tell. We could return to that. We also did a 2-issue miniseries last year for LCS about the last comic shop on Earth. That's done very well for us at Winston and I at conventions and shows. That we could come back to that. So I'm interested in maybe kind of poke some of my readership and see what do you want to return. We have a bunch of returning universes. We wrapped up our at this point it's a decade. We've been making the comic Bulletproof Chicken. That's ready for a trade release. So it's really just for us, we're very fortunate. I think once we wrap up Drumsticks of Doom, now it's like, okay, what's the next trade? What's the next big book that we can have on the table that really helps with like conventions and stuff like that. So I think I would be very happy to put out 1 or even 2 trade paperbacks next year of those.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. Oh, we got lots of comments here, but
it's just us.
It's just us saying it's broken. Oh man, but yeah, that's really cool. I like that. I think with the trades too, it's like I'm learning just how segmented the market is, right? Like you always think like people who like comics. So that's, I don't know about you, but that's how I read. Like I'm not worried about what format it's in. Like if it's a good Kickstarter comic, I'll get it. If it's a trade and that's the way I find it, so be it, right? Digital, print, whatever, like I'll read comics. Apparently that's not the case. Apparently
we are not the norm, sir.
Yeah.
And actually even myself, I feel like I was 50-50 singles and trades. Then digital came in and it was like 25 singles, 25 digital, 50 trades. Now I feel like I'm like 90% trades. I really personally am one of the dirty trade waiters. I don't like the floppies anymore. They take up too much space. They get damaged. They're a pain. But I've definitely found that like at conventions, people want the book. They don't want to walk away with issue. If they do, it's issue 1. Beyond that, I don't sell a lot of issue 2, 3s, and 4s as much as I thought I would. People want the book collected. They want the little coffee table book. The casual reader, I think, comes for that. The Kickstarter backers will back single issues and like the variants and stuff, but it shows. I feel like the Drumsticks of Doom trade just outsells everything by a long shot.
Yeah,
and I really wish I had focused more. When I restarted Part-Time Comics after working at another company for about a decade, I wanted to do just graphic. Now we'll go straight to the trade, but it's very difficult to do. The single issues kind of help get you to the trade and pay for things so that the trade can be successful financially. So I wasn't able to really. I wish I had taken that plunge on 1 or 2 books just to see, because I feel like I put myself behind a couple of years by balancing too many projects, so none of them really got to trade as fast as I wanted. But people just love the trade, and again, you can see behind me, and there's even more. I like the trades too, so I can't complain.
Yeah, same boat. I'm the same way. I like to read everything. I've been leaning more to the trades because they look nicer on a bookshelf, right? Like it's just but I'm still picking up like the absolute stuff. I'm picking up, and they don't even make you wait on the trades, and yet I'm still picking up the single issues in that. So it's
That's
it's
funny.
kind of a interesting thing. I do like how they're really, uh, like the trade waiting was like almost like a you'd pay like your penance. It's like, okay, I'm gonna be 6 months behind everything or more,
Mhm.
right? And that's okay. Like that. But now it feels like much like with movies in the theater, right? Like there's almost no wait, right? It's
Right.
like the arc finishes issue, let's say it's a 5 issue arc. By the time issue 7 comes out, the trade for the first 5 issues is coming right with it. So it's like
Yep.
you're not that far behind if you decide to trade wait. And I say that with like a heavy heart because again, it's like I need those people who want those single issues
Right.
in order to get to that trade.
Please, sir, please buy my book in stores now, but I'll be waiting on the trade of your book. No, it's fine. However people want to get it is what I hope. But you're right. You need some single issue sales to get you there.
Yeah, exactly, right. And that's what I always tell people who are like new to this, or even folks like I'm sure you've had people reaching out since you got the deal with Massive. Is like, oh, how did you get into it? And it's like, look, if you're like, I'm with Prana, it's very similar. They don't want you to, come with like one-offs. Like you need a
Yep.
plan,
Yep.
and that plan has some inherent risk with it, right? Aside from the fees that they take, like which is again just that it is what it is in order to
Mhm.
for them to do their work. So you have to worry about now that's an extra cost, but also, the direct market, they want the books they want, so you have to now hit certain thresholds to make it worthwhile, right? So there's just a whole bunch of risk that you're getting yourself into, and you just kind of have to do it. Like there's no, oh, whoops, we didn't hit our funding goal, so we're
Mhm.
not going to proceed. Like the direct market's like, no, people have ordered the book.
Yep.
So maybe you didn't hit your numbers. You're just going to have to hold them in your garage. And like, there's, right? Like that's the worst case scenario there, that like, if you're doing some offset printing, like, and you don't hit that offset number, whatever the delta is ending up in your basement or garage.
Yep.
And it's being accepting of that, of like, okay, like we do the issues so that we can get to the trade, so that eventually the last in line, which is the writer publisher people, can start getting paid. uh but
Mhm.
it's just being willing to accept the risk, right? That
Yep.
like
Yep.
this is not something that you just do willy-nilly. If you want to hit that next level, it means that you're putting a lot more skin in the game than you would even just on a Kickstarter, because you don't have that safety net of, if we don't hit this number, then we can reevaluate. It's
Mhm.
no, like you have to make sure that the book's on the shelves on the day that you said it would be.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a very different level of expectation, but again, it's if you have the stomach for it, then maybe you're on
Yeah.
a good
Well,
good
and I'm
deal.
sure, I saw your video. I know when you're waiting for that first final order cutoff,
Ooh.
it's
Yeah.
a relief when you get it, if it's, close to where you want it to be. And we were very excited about where our numbers were at. And I don't know what, I guess I just expected it, like you said, to be like, oops, we're going to ship a couple hundred and we'll be done by issue 2 and that'll be it.
Yeah.
I was very happy with where it was at, but then it's like the ball keeps rolling. There's no time to catch your breath. So they do want that they want to see that you've got a couple issues in the can, or that you have a process in place to keep it moving, which I think they should. And I know I was somebody who I didn't really have this great desire to work at the bigger publishers. I did submit many times and, was hoping, it was still a minor dream of mine, but I just feel like the way this is going, like for you and I, and that we can be kind of part of this first wave, as much as it hurts, like you said, to give that extra percentage. It's a great feeling too, to be like, yes, we like your book. Yes, we think it's good enough. We'll help you going forward. We don't want to know anything about the story.
Mhm.
You're in control. Do what you need to do. Hit your deadlines. Don't, do anything disrespectful to the distributor, and we'll keep it going. Like I almost feel like the struggle made me backdoor into the best deal possible for the book, is that I could finish the book and do exactly what I wanted. And that's why I signed with Massive, is that they were very hands off. Now they do expect you to have some experience, and I found that out real quick. I thankfully had some other friends who had been in the direct market and they helped me. I didn't even know how to do a UPC code. I've
Oh
done
yeah.
a
Yep.
ISBN, but I had never done a UPC code. And again, like you said, final order cutoff to day of shelf came a little fast, and they were thankfully nice to me, the first time I missed it, but won't be so nice in the future if that continues. So I learned real fast that they want you to have experience. They're going to help you. They're going to earn their fee, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, they're not the publisher of the book. You have to do all the work behind the scenes. You have to get the ad pages ready, et cetera, et cetera. And anybody who wants to talk about the massive deal, I didn't sign like an NDA or anything. I know with other publishers, they've asked me not to talk about contracts they've offered, but I'm open. I want people to know that I think if like you said, you have the stomach for it, you have the resources. I think it's been a great way to publish. I'm grateful that this is the way I got into the direct market, the way that we wanted to put the book out.
Yeah, no, very very well said. Yeah, like you nailed every point. With one is like, yeah, it's the dream of it's the image thing. That's what they were going for. It's like I want to be able to tell my stories my way, and we're being given that opportunity, right? And like you said, like there's all that risk and that involved, and there's a fee for doing so. But I mean, at least the road is a little smoother for us because we're dealing with people who understand the market and will get us at least that last mile, right? But to your point, at the same time, like we're still responsible for the actual like publishing part of it. Right, there's like they're the kind of that last bit, like you've given us something complete, like end to end, cool, we'll make sure it gets where it needs to go. But that includes like dealing with printers and getting the solicit pages ready and like doing basically end to end, right? Like they're just the facilitators of everything.
Yes.
I've been lucky to have a lot of help in terms of like even just the marketing side of things and some good ideas they've come up with and then pushed me in certain directions and got me in touch with printers and all that. So 100% like worth their weight in gold. Very happy with everything I've been doing with them. But at the end of the day, like if I don't do my job, there's no book. Right.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of it's like the pressure certainly mounts because now it's again the Kickstarter, you're always in some kind of control. You can always just Kickstarter is a very forgiving community that you can come out and say, guys, I goofed. Like I said April, I meant May. Right? Like things just didn't pan out the way I thought. Whatever. And you can be open with a lot of folks and just be like, look, life happened. It got in the way, but the book is coming. It's just not coming on the day I promised. And without fail, people will be like, yeah, cool. Right. As long as you're not like, it's year 5 and I'm still working. Right. But if like you're like a month or so behind, like you're good. But again, it's just a different beast on the other side where there is no such thing. There is no, oh, don't worry. Like you're good. It's like, no, like you said it was coming on this day. Right? Like I have business that revolves around this. So
well, and knowing a little bit about comic shops too, is like they order, maybe their order was lower that month, so they took a risk on an indie book. Well, now by the time it comes out, they've lost the shelf space, and there's a lot of semantics to it. There's a lot that goes in. So you got to be respectful for that. And like you said, Kickstarter is a little different audience, like you mentioned, the trade paperback people. Direct market is a whole different audience too. Like there is probably a lot of crossover. I know I shop in both places, but a lot of people don't. So they may never have seen your book before, and they don't. They're not gonna necessarily look you up and say, well, why did issue 2 never come out for this person? No, they're going to see you 3 years down the road and say, I'm not buying John Westoff's book because I never got issue 2,
Yeah, exactly. Right.
So there's a lot to it, but again, I think for anybody who wants to submit, I've told people, Massive still has open submissions. You do want to have, again, a couple in the can. You want to have a series that you kind of either have all the issues out or most, because that will really help you stay in the game and make it easier on yourself. And again, for all the right reasons, they're not really accepting one shots and things like that. You'll have to continue to find other avenues for that. But I'm very grateful. From what I've heard, and I don't want to overstep, but from what I've heard about Prana, they're a little bit more hands-on than I'm telling you that they sent me a PDF. This is how you distribute this book. Email us if you got a problem. There was no suffering of any fools on that. They kindly answer your questions in a reasonable time, but there was no hand holding. There was no, we're going to work together. It's like, okay, we've got you the avenue. Here's what you need to do. Email us any questions. And that's been my relationship with them, which again, to me is great. I like the amount of control I have over my own book and all that I do. And I'm just grateful they gave us an opportunity to get in shops.
Right on. Yeah. I will say, Prana's been a little more open to because even when I talked to Adam the first time and said kind of where I'm at. I'm like, look, I don't know anything about the direct market outside of like being a customer, right? Like I read the Bleeding Cools and all that of the world, so I kind of have an idea, but realistically, like I don't know the ins and outs. So they were really good at like being like, okay, like this is what you need to know. This is the dates that we need things. There's been a lot of help from a handful of people, which has been great. So, yeah, I could certainly say on the Prana side of things, a little more involved, but I think that's also why they're a lot more selective. It just in terms of like, not that to say that like Massive doesn't also look at everything, right? Like you do have to come to either of these groups with a plan, with like these are all the books I have and all that. But I think when I say selective, I mean they're just it seems like they're taking on fewer people at the moment, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's because of that, because they're really trying to see how much bandwidth they have to deal with like another one of me being like, hey, so what is a comic shop? Right. And really trying to figure all that out. So they're still in the early stages where I think Mass has been doing this for at least a couple of years now. Right. I'm the first publisher under their umbrella that does like
well, congratulations.
Yeah, I'm the first one that's doing monthlies, right? So they have a couple that are doing like they have Source Point Press.
Oh, okay.
But they're exclusively trades, right? So I was the first one that's like, okay, we're gonna try someone who has monthly books, right? So like a little slower to bring people on in that sense, but all that said, like it's been a lot of help. I've been a guinea pig just as much as just as much as they've helped me kind of get there. But yeah, definitely a lot more hands-on in that sense. Because yeah, I've spoken to people who are with Massive even here, and they were saying, yeah, like they didn't anticipate how much of a plan they had to have in place, right? That it's like, yeah, they're not like you are a micro publisher, right? You're one or two books, like you have to have a plan on what you're doing every month, right? And that's not always like being able to see 2 years into the future. That's what you have to have. That you have to say, this is not what I'm doing next month, not what I'm doing in the fall. What am I doing in the fall of 2027, right? Because you need to get artists working on that today so that you're ready for then. And that's not always the way, and also you got to keep in mind that money that you give the artist now isn't coming until fall of 2027, probably 2028, right? So are you comfortable with that you're investing in yourself,
right?
But it's an investment for sure. So yeah, just a very different mindset, right?
And it's been very cool to be part of it. I'll try not to ruin it for other people so that you'll have the opportunity in the future. It's kind of cool to be part of the first wave, and I hope that this, not only these avenues stay open, but even more to help indie people like ourselves that really do want to get into the direct market and take this risk and not have to go through a full publisher with editorial control and things that have historically been difficult for us unknown guys and gals. It's cool to be part of the first wave. So I'm trying to take pride in it. I've had quite a few mistakes already in my first 6 months, but they've worked with us and we're going to get all these issues out. And again, Kickstarter is going to help direct market. It's cool to not have to have all your eggs in one basket and have some different options. And it was insane that when that first issue came out, people are posting, tagging me, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is real. Like it's all over the country right now. It's like crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
And all I did was send an address to a printer, and they sent it to this magical warehouse that delivered it to all of the world.
Yeah, I'm still in that. So the books should be hitting should be leaving the printer now, but it's like it's all invisible to me.
Yeah.
And I'm not used to that. Like again, being a crowdfunding guy, it's like the books come to my door, and then I beg and board. Like I touch every book, and now we're going to this world of like.
Yeah, it felt so weird not to see them first. Like I was like, they did send me, I was able to flip through, but to not like be able to make sure the pages are in the right order and all that stuff. Like I was like, oh, just waiting. I was just waiting for somebody to email me and be like, it has the wrong insides. This is somebody else's book.
Yeah, nightmare, right? And like again, it depends on your printer and like all that. Like some of them are. I'm working with TC, so they're pretty good. Like I have an account manager who like looks at it and says, okay, pages look good. We will proceed together. Right.
I just finally submitted my first quote from them. I'm hoping to work with them now that we're got bigger orders to fill.
Nice. Yeah, it's funny because they wouldn't even talk to me.
Oh, gotcha.
When we got started, like they were like, who are you? Like, what do you got? Because I was like, yeah, I've had some success on Kickstarter, and like I've had campaigns that have gone in like the 700 plus backers. They're like, that's nothing, dude.
Get out of here.
Unimpressed.
You know what? Maybe I should have mentioned that in my quote. I am with Massive Publishing.
Yeah, right. That's really what they
I
want
might
to
have
hear.
send them a second email.
Yeah, maybe a follow up. But they've been great. They've been great since I got in with them. But it did take a little bit of convincing and some, tapping on shoulders and be like, hey, do you mind like vetting me for them?
Yeah.
Right. Because they're
get so
doing
mad at some of that
volume.
stuff like Dark Horse didn't pick up my book, or this printer won't call me back. It's like, dude, they're a business too. Like,
Yeah.
No, take no offense in it. They have to pick their projects too and who they work with. This is not, nobody's doing this for free. Some of us do, but nobody wants to be. So don't take offense. It's just a business decision, and like you said, now see if you had swore them off and cussed them out, you wouldn't be able to print with them now.
Yeah,
Where would
exactly.
you be,
Right, and that's it. It's like there's a lot of filtering on every channel, right? So I know a lot of people who are like new to this are like, well, why aren't people like, well, I tried, I sent in a thing and they don't get back to me. It's like, dude, they're getting hundreds if not thousands of submissions, and even these printers and stuff, like unless you're coming kind of with a referral, almost they don't want to hear from you, or at least with something that they can recognize, being like, okay, like you're in the direct market, we can talk now, because they just don't want to do these volumes. So, or they can't do small volume, and they don't want to talk to everybody to explain to them the type of level they're at, right? So it's again, it's all about like gradually getting there. And I think there's some that are just like ready to like, I made my first book, how do I get it in stores next to Batman? Yeah. It's like, no, this is a long journey.
What's that look like?
Yeah.
it might never happen, for some of us it doesn't. And but yeah, no, it's been cool. If I have a strength in comics, it's that I see projects through. I enjoy the project completion. I enjoy the email I got today that they overshipped too many books to the distributor and now they need to ship me books back, and why did I do that, and oops, I'll get it cleared up and I'll pay for the mistake, all that kind of stuff. I like project management, and then getting the final product just feels like you were in the dirt, scrapping it out. You feel a little bit more attached to these physical things we're shipping around the world.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's the whole idea of like writer as publisher, right? Like most of the work that you're doing is not sitting and like writing the book. It's all the other stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like the time that I actually sit and write is probably 10%, and that's probably me being generous. Most of it's marketing.
Yes. I tried to write the other day and then had to spend a half an hour trying to figure out why it wouldn't post at multiple social medias at the same time. And why won't my OBS behind the scenes stream to multiple things? You got to spend an hour trying to be a IT director at the same time. You're like, oh, geez. Well, there went that day.
Yeah, exactly. It's the multiple hats, right? And then there's that pressure now of, okay, well, I'm not writing, and while I'm not writing, that means that these projects keep getting pushed down the line.
Yeah.
Right. Like I have artists like Roberto waiting for scripts from me that he's not going to get for a little while because I have a conga line of scripts that I owe people, and but in the meantime, I have to do all these other things. So it's been interesting, just in how, it's the same problem and it just like scales and scales and scales. That's really, it's really the point of it, right? Like the writing is the least of your worries. That's the easy part.
That is the easy part. It does make it kind of makes it a little more fun too when you finally get to knock out some pages.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's almost like a relaxing thing. It's like, okay, now I get to do like the whole reason I did. Yeah, this is why I'm here. I'm gonna
stare at a blank. You stare at a blank white screen for 4 hours and say, that was a good writing session.
Yeah, exactly. 3 coffees and 0 words later.
Yeah. If all this sounds exciting to you, jump into the exciting world of publishing. If this sounds like the worst, then just run away now.
Dude, yeah, I I think I mentioned it the last episode of this, but I had a recent comment because I did you've seen all my shorts. And one of the shorts I said, if you're doing this for the money, like go do anything else, like literally anything else. It'll be easier than this. And then somebody in the comments was like, "Why are you gatekeeping?" It's like, well, not you clearly missed the point. Like, if people want to waste their lives, like that's fine. But it's like if you're not enjoying this, like if you don't enjoy this process, then yeah, like there are better things to do. Like if you're doing this for the end goal of I want to get on shelves and become a millionaire, like first off, very unlikely. Uh, but second, like that's not like that is such a small part. Like you can even speak to it. Like you went to the store, you had that wonderful moment where you saw the book on the shelf, and then you go back and you have to work on the next thing. Like
Yep.
that moment's so fleeting,
It is fleeting.
right?
It's worth it.
Yeah, right. But and it's the everything you have to take some joy out of the everything else because that's most of the time,
And
right?
that's exactly it. Like, yes, I'm not saying that you shouldn't, lick your wounds and be in your feelings sometimes when things
Yeah.
happen that are tough. But I just had multiple huge backers cancel, and it's always tough to look at that. But again, you have to enjoy the small stuff too, because otherwise you'll get to the end of a project and the only thing you enjoyed was the physical project. You got to enjoy the other time you spend, right? Like conversations like this and getting the word out and it's these things are fun. We should enjoy these parts of life too. And again, I've come across posts like that before too. And I hope people don't take it as gatekeeping. I try to be honest because I'm a social worker by day. So I would never tell people don't have goals, don't dream big, but I do want you to be realistic so that, when the hard times come, you don't burn out and then quit because you weren't prepared, for what's really coming with comics, because selling paper pamphlets is harder than ever. The costs of it are higher, so the margins are lower. So if the only part of the goal is the money part, which for some people it has to be, right? They're full-time artists. I get that. Most of us aren't going to reach our financial goals because that's just the nature of the business. But if you put in the work and you enjoy the time, there can be a lot of other things you get to. And then hopefully in time, you'll get that financial part up where it needs to be. But you got to be realistic going in because we see it all the time. 1 issue, 2 issues burned out. I've had so many co-creators that they went in too hard with expectations, maybe, too much of what was realistic. And then that made them, I felt like at least made them give up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the key word, right? The expectations. And that's really what I was getting at was like if you're expecting to just like make a book and it's a resounding success, like maybe this isn't for you. Like it's a grind. It's truly a grind. And there's no guarantees. And honestly, so much of it has to do with luck. Like you mentioned we're the first wave. Well, that was like out of how many years that we've been trying to have someone take a chance on us in some degree or some form or fashion, right? And
Right.
and it was just a matter of timing and luck that we were ready. We had things that could go on shelves while there were these companies looking for people for stuff for the shelves. Like it was a perfect lucky timing. It's not something that you're necessarily going to be able to replicate or like just say, oh well, I'll just do that. It's like you can't repeat it. It's like we salted the earth behind us, right? Like it's done. That's the way we did it, and that's now it's done. Right? So it's tough to understand that there isn't like a path. Like if you want to become a bank manager, you go become a teller and you work your way up. I'm probably completely wrong, but but there's like a clear like I'll do this, I'll get this certification, I'll go to school for this amount of time and I'll slowly work my way up, and then hopefully in 20 years I'm at this level. Like there's a clear path. There's no such thing with what we're doing here, right? And there's no guarantees, and it's that you have to be just willing to wing it and go with it and make horrible mistakes that are going to cost you lots of money.
That's true too.
Right.
But that's always what I say is the great thing about comics. The bar to entry is so low. If your goal is to make $1 million and to write Amazing Spider-Man and to write 700 issues of it, good luck. You're free to try. But
like
if
someone has to, right? So maybe
if your goal is to make a comic, we can do that, man. We can do that too. We're doing it right now. By the end of this session, Roberto will have a comic. We've made a comic, and that's what's great about comics to me is that we can do it. We could knock out a book in a couple weeks, a month, and then we have the book. We can't necessarily control all the other factors, in it. So again, I think level set your goals. If your goal is to make comics, and my goal was to be on the shelf next to my favorite book is Amazing Spider-Man. I was a couple letters down from it, but I finally got to that goal. And
Next book's an A book.
Yeah, it'll be the Amazing Drumsticks of Doom. And that's cool to me. Like, I feel like that was a goal. And then now, did I sell again anywhere? I know I keep joking about it, but I did not sell anywhere near what a Marvel book will sell. But to me, I was very happy with that. And I'm very happy that thousands of people are going to pick up this book and hopefully not let it sit on their to read pile as long as I do. Hopefully they'll read it soon and tell me what they think.
Likewise.
We've gotten a couple read orders though, so it feels like shops are happy with the book. And
beautiful.
Yeah, again, that's the cool thing about comics is there. And again, you're just a couple steps away from your favorite creators and things. I've met some of them at conventions and had great conversations, and I enjoy this. That's what I enjoy about it. Because again, I'm focusing on, I am creating comics with people I want to, with friends and peers in the community. So if I just say, oh, this Kickstarter failed, or I still haven't reached 300 backers, that's been a goal. I've never met it. If I only focus on that, then I've missed all the fun along the way, which
100%. Yeah, and one of the things you mentioned too is the community aspect of it. Like, that's probably the best part. It's something that, like, you kind of get a sense of it when you're on the outside, that it's like, oh, like, everybody seems like they're really chummy and they're friends, and it's like it's true. It's like I once you've kind of shown that you're serious, like, and by that I don't mean like direct market or whatever, or like successful Kickstarters, just that, like, you're here to learn and to get books together, right? Like, once you've kind of shown that you want to be part of the community, like, this community accepts you with open arms. It's crazy. Like, just the amount of people I've met, like, all over the place, like all over the world. Like, it's like nothing else. And like, it's like we're all kind of brothers in arms, and then trying to make this very difficult, very stressful art come together. Right. And it's like nothing else. Like, it's I don't know. I come from a film background, and I always talk about that, how it was a very different world, that everybody's kind of looking for a way in, and like, you're never really having a real conversation, at least in my experience, right? Like, everybody's always looking for work.
Yeah.
So you never get to just like get to know people and like really push people, because pushing them might mean a job not for you, right? Like, like, it's a very different experience. Where comics, it's like, no, dude, like, I love what you're doing. Like, I everybody's buying each other's work and helping each other out and pushing each other's projects, and like, yeah, it's wild. It's such a cool community. I'm so happy.
And I always say, maybe you'd find that in novel writing, but like you said,
yeah,
maybe music, but TV, movies, most of us, are not going to get, a big movie into the theaters. But again, the comics, you work hard enough, you put out a good product, again, you can be on the shelves with these other comics that you respect and admire and read each week. And that's, again, that's a really cool thing.
Yeah, you could be on the shelves, and then it opens doors for you that you can meet those people, and they become your peers, those people that you've been looking up to, and then you've been like, reading their books, and they inspired you, and this and that, and then suddenly you're like next to them at a panel or whatever, and it's it's wild. It's such a crazy thing that it's like, oh, like, you've read something I made. That's what, right? It's such a cool feeling. So yeah, that's probably the biggest benefit. Like, it's been fun being able to get my stories out there and do all that stuff, but just being part of this and getting to talk to people like you and meet all the people. And now it's like, I feel like I know someone everywhere, which is like, maybe if you're an introvert, that's terrifying. That's like, you'll never be anonymous again. You'll, especially if you're dumb and you wear a hat that pretty much has your name on it. But, but it's that idea of like, yeah, that you're part of it. Like, you just have to make something and show people that you want to be a part of it, like, seriously, and mean it. And that's it. Like,
that's the question. How do I break into comics? And if people say it's too simplified, make a comic. And you were in comics. I remember the first time I met Mike Norton, an amazing, now he's helped co-create a TV series and done all these acclaimed books. I walked up to a convention, and then I was like, oh, I like your stuff, and I want to buy this print. And he's like, oh, just take it, John. I'm like, what? He's like, oh, you're one of us, take this print. And I was like, oh my God, I'm one of you. I have 3 crappy comics out, and you think that's amazing.
Yeah.
It was a nice moment.
Oh, it's so much fun. Yeah. Like, it's fun seeing your friends like do so well too. Like, right now there's a book, oh my God, I can not remember the name because it's crazy, the Florida Hippopotamus Cocaine Massacre
That's it.
from Mad Cave. Yeah. So James Edward Clark, he was on the show. He did a cover for me for Naked Kaiju Woman. So like, you know, we know each other. We're colleagues of a sort. Yeah, and I saw him at Toronto Comic Con, and he's there with Fred Kennedy, and they're having such success and such glow. And it's like, yeah, man, like that's cool. Like we were at the same level. You shot off like a rocket. But it's like, I'm so happy for you. Instead of being like, oh, why wasn't that me? It's like, no, man, like it's just crazy. Like you never know what's gonna hit. And seeing other people have that success, it's you almost like take some like pride in it. Right. Where again, I don't know that that's the same everywhere, that it's like, oh my God, like I'm so happy for them doing as well as they're doing with their book. Right. I had nothing to do with it. I had to go buy it at the store like everyone else. But I'm happy. I'm so happy to like see, their work like just taking off. Right. So
Absolutely.
yeah, it's just really cool that it's like, yeah, man, like we were just goofing around on this show drawing Bluey or whatever. And now he's like super successful comic artist.
All he had to do was make a comic about a cocaine.
It's an idea I wouldn't have come up with myself. So, that's how you know it's definitely a unique book. If you haven't read it, it's well worth checking out. But
sounds like it's right up my alley.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Like they lean real hard into the satire, and they're very excited about it. Like talking to James, like he was spoiling the whole series for me. Right? He was really excited to talk about what was coming. So yeah, I'm just gonna hide Roberto real quick. All right, but yeah, it's
actually, I have the last comic we did. If you want me to throw it up.
Oh yeah. Here, let's I think we can actually, if you share the screen, I can.
There we go.
There we go. I can show both. Or I can show. Yeah, there we go. Nice. That was a fun one. I enjoyed that. That was like, I feel like that one we really like had to work to get to, but it ended really well. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I'll have to rewatch the episode. I forgot if the prompt was the chair or something. Why were they fighting over the chair? I don't remember.
Yeah, it was like an inheritance or something. Yeah, they were all arguing.
We came to it, but I feel like the prompt was the chair, something about a chair, and we were like,
oh maybe, yeah.
This chair.
Gotta rewatch that.
And then
one,
he drew this amazing chair.
Yeah, that was a fun one for sure. All right, there we go.
Again,
speaking of a fun one. Oh, is Roberto back? Let me bring Roberto back.
If we know each other for 24 more years, we'll have a whole comic.
Yeah, right. Oh man. Hopefully we're all still doing very well in this at that point. Although I don't know, I what was the thing Chip Zdarsky just put out about Freedom 55? So he used to have like a insurance company, and their big thing was Freedom 55. So he's set a date for himself that 55 he's going to stop doing the hero books. And it's like, yeah, I mean, it's nice to have a target. Yeah. Right? It's interesting though. It's like, oh man, I feel like that's not enough time. I just got started, man.
Well, yeah. Oh man, he's already 50. Oh, Chip.
Right?
Although he's had some great success, so I could see why.
Yeah, like he's checked a lot of boxes, a lot of big ones. He's the I want to draw Batman. Okay, go ahead. Like write Batman and Daredevil.
This is only my second series ever over, into double-digit issues, so I got to get a few more of those under my belt before I can retire.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'll tell you, that was part of it, though. I mean, COVID times, I got creeping towards 40, and I said, you know what? If you're going to do it, you got to do it. Like, I took a couple years off, got a little burnt out myself from comics creation, took on too much, and then I said, you know what? You're not too old. Get back out there, old man. So I'm glad. If this is all it comes to be, is that I get this one book in retail stores and a couple cool trades out there, then I've had a good career. But I mean, I definitely would like to push for a few more before I'm 55.
Yeah, that's fair. No, I think you're on the right track. I mean, you've got all the right parts. You got the audience, you got the stories.
But I turned 45 on Friday, so bad news. It's all downhill from here. This
I
is
feel
when the
like
wheels fall off.
I feel like everybody says that about whatever date is coming.
Right.
They're like, "Oh,
True.
just wait until."
It's true.
Roberto's gonna chime in and say the same thing now, but no.
I have just started.
All right. He's got that Jack Kirby mentality.
Yeah, I love it.
Get in there.
Okay. Oh man, is the page done? You got it under the time limit. My
Yeah,
goodness.
I simplify a lot of the drawing, but I
That's
think
fair. Yeah. It's
Listen,
not your usual detailed backgrounds and such,
Yeah.
but that's okay. No, I don't want to
It's
spill your
it's
secrets.
nothing like the last page we did together.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. We had like a crowd scene in the last one. A lot
Yeah, we
easier
did.
with two.
Coffins. Chair. Remember you drew that great chair? He was
Yeah.
made for that. Now he's made to draw chili pots.
Nice. So, any dialogue to go with this, or what do we think? Or do we leave it to you to let her post show again and see what surprises you got
I'm
for
happy
us?
to do that. If you have any, I have definitely an idea of what they're arguing over with the spices in their hand. But yeah, if you want to throw some stuff out, or just let me, I'll slap some letters on it and send it back to you.
Totally up to you. It depends if you want to. I know you got a time limit, so
I think it should be called chili crimes. That's for sure.
chili. I like it. I like that. Right on. Okay. Well, yeah. I know you. I know you have a hard stop, so I'll let you have like a bio break and stuff, and we'll let you loose. Before we do that, I know we've been talking about the book and everything, but actually, I have it on my screen. I'm gonna share it, and then I'll let you talk about it and sell it to everybody, and hopefully they'll go and back it right now. But the floor is yours. Hold on while I share this guy right here. Is it gonna let me? There we go. All right, floor is yours. Let us know about this campaign and what to expect.
So again, thanks for having me back on. It's been a great time. I think this is the book of how we met. This is Drumsticks of Doom. This is really our flagship title at Part-Time Comics. Again, the short pitches. What if Black Sabbath, instead of the Beatles, became the most popular band in the world? The universe would be changed forever, musically and otherwise. When our main character there, Lana, riding on the side of her bus, finds a magical pair of drumsticks, she's thrust into a war to keep heavy metal on the top of the charts. I am a recovering heavy metal drummer, and now I write books about people being in bands and stuff like that, of course, naturally. But yeah, we've got 7 great covers. We're doing all 3 issues at once. We've got Chuck Beebe, Tyler Cannon, Daniel White, Robert Hafferman, and Mike Norton, and of course, Dan Doherty, my co-creator, also did a cover for us. We've got more sick covers on this one, including all the standard covers coming, awesome, real heavy metal covers, which are cool. But yeah, this is kind of the again, the natural third arc to me. Again, a band story. Most stories have a beginning, middle, and end. And to me, a band story is get the band together, get the album recorded, go on tour. But who's going to make it through to the encore? Of course, we want to keep some surprises for you. There's a lot that's going to happen in these 3 issues. And yeah, Dan and I are just very excited. Again, the plot arc was about 10 to 12 issues when we started, and not everybody again gets to tell their story the way they want to. So I'm just very happy that we're able to bring the end. It's bittersweet because I've probably came up with this idea 10 or 15 years ago, and then took me 5 or 10 years to approach Dan to finally do it. And now 5 years later, we're finishing the whole arc. So it's been a big chunk of my life, and I'm just very happy to have it out there. If you are a Dirty Trade Waiter, of course, we have the first volume in trade. Like myself, you want the trades. The second volume will be out in the fall as well, if we can get through this campaign and get these 3 issues out there. We have t-shirts for the first time, all kinds of cool swag. We love the heavy metal adjacent swag, like the iron-on patches and the glowing drumsticks, and we've done guitar picks and other fun things. You can get drawn in the book. We have 2 spots left to be immortalized in the book. That's an example of one of the pages where people were drawn in before. Dan does an amazing job. He's an amazing artist. So he'll draw you in a really cool scene. We've already sold one of those, so we only have 2 left. We have all of our other Part-Time Comics books. Again, I've probably been part of 36 to 40 different books over the years, so I have most of them still in print. You can get pretty much every book I've ever been in this campaign.
Amazing. That's really cool. Like it's like I said, it's doing really well. So it's cool to see you know, it's cool to see. Like you're so close. I feel like the last couple days, you're gonna hit that goal no problem. But yeah, it's an impressive goal. This is all in Canadian, of course. Apologies
We
to
won't
all
convert
the
it to
Americans.
Americanese for you.
Yeah, there you go. So that's the conversion. But yeah, it's really cool to see, and it's cool to see that you've like really got your whole story out there. Like it's a full beginning to end idea. So I'm looking forward to reading the end of it. I'll be back at 1:30. I've had a bad habit of being that guy in the last 48 hours.
Oh, you're all good. I actually do
I'm
the
the
same thing
problem.
because I'm part of a lot of campaigns. I kind of back in the middle, so when they have those slower days,
Give them
they
the
get a little
bump. Yeah.
it's fine. And I also understand times are tough. Not everybody can back. I know you mentioned earlier a lot of this scene is a lot of us supporting and backing each other. But of course, nobody's obligated to back. If you can share, that hugely helps. That might even help more than a back. So if anybody out there is like, hey, I already backed 10 books this month, we get it. Give us a quick share on your favorite social media. It really, really, really helps right now because they are just squashing everything that we don't pay for on those platforms anymore.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, it's one of those things. There's always a way to help, even if you can't do it financially, which again, totally understand
Absolutely.
nowadays. And we'll get you eventually, whether it's by the trade or
We'll get
who
you.
knows.
We'll find you.
We'll find you at some point. So if it's not today, that's okay. But help us make it happen so that we can catch you later.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. With all that, Roberto, anything to say? Anything to push?
Just what I said at the beginning. You can find me at robertogaillustration.com, and I'm working on the fourth chapter of Voyager. It's gonna be live on September.
Right on.
Thanks.
Easy peasy. I'll be equally brief. So April 29th from Parts Unknown #1 in stores. Naked Kaiju Woman on Kickstarter. We're getting it out there. We're doing all this cool stuff. So talk to your retailers. Tell them that you want the books from Prana, the books from Massive. Help us indies out. Get some more cool, different books out there. DC, Marvel. I love all that stuff too. But if you can add an indie or two here, it's your dollar to an indie goes so much further than it does to Warner Brothers and Disney. So definitely help out indies where you can by checking out the back pages of the catalogs and finding us in there. So with all that, I want to thank everyone for watching. This was a lot of fun, John. Thanks for coming back. We'll have you back again because every time you come, it's a great conversation. So like you said, you'll have stuff. You'll have trades. You'll have all kinds of stuff to talk about. So
I'm always happy to come on again when you've run out of other people. Just always keep me on dial.
You go back to the back of the line. We'll get back to you again.
Yeah, every time you have something live, just call us.
Yeah, always happy to have you on. All right,
appreciate it, guys.
Okay, with that,